Dear students of class 10, today's topic, the judiciary in India. Points: the Supreme Court, composition, appointment, qualifications, salary and perks, terms of office. The Supreme Court. You know, the Supreme Court is the highest judicial court of India. It is the highest judicial court of India, or it is the apex court of India, apex court. Now, why is it called apex court or highest judicial court? Because the decision of the Supreme Court is final. No one can challenge against the decision of the Supreme Court. No one can challenge against the authority of the Supreme Court. And for that reason, it is said that the Supreme Court is the highest judicial organ. The Supreme Court is the apex court of India. The Supreme Court, it has composition. The Supreme Court of India consists of a Chief Justice of India and not more than 25 judges. The Supreme Court, the Chief Justice, the Supreme Court consists of the Chief Justice and 25 other judges. 25 other judges, but the number of judges are appointed as per the requirement of the Chief Justice of India. That's why the extra judges who are appointed by the President in consultation with the Chief Justice of India, sometimes it varies from time to time. Sometimes it may be increased, it can become more than 25, but not above 30, less 30, always. And what is the importance of what is the system of appointment? The system of appointment. The President, in consultation with the Chief Justice of High Court, the President, in consultation with the Chief Justice of High Courts, and the Supreme High Courts and other judges of the Supreme Court, appoints the Chief Justice of India. Now, what is the system of appointment of Chief Justice of India? Before, the President of India appoints the Chief Justice after consulting with the Chief Justice, after consulting with the judges of the Supreme Court and the Chief Justices of the High Courts. The other judges of the Supreme Court are appointed how? How are the other judges of Supreme Court appointed? The other judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by the President in consultation with the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Chief Justice of India. Chief Justice of India makes a list of some judges according to which the President consults the Chief Justice of India and then appoints other judges of the Supreme Court. And now, the qualifications required to be the judges of the Supreme Court. The person must be the citizen of India, must have worked as a judge of the High Court for at least 5 years without a break. That means a judge of the Supreme Court must have experience as a judge of any high court for at least 5 years at a stretch. And next one, must have practiced. The person must have practiced as a lawyer in the High Court for at least 10 years. That means he must have 10 years a legal experience as a lawyer of any high court. And another qualification required to be the judge of the Supreme Court is the person should be considered as eminent jurist by the president. So these are the minimum qualifications required to be the judge of the Supreme Court. Now, salary and perks. The salary of the Chief Justice of India and other judges are paid from the consolidated fund, where legislature would not have any access. Legislature has no control over there. Why? Because in order to provide independent right to provide justice, to provide impartial justice, the Constitution of India has made such arrangement that salary will be paid from the consolidated fund of India. The salary of the judges of the Supreme Court, the salary of the Chief Justice of India will be paid from the consolidated fund of India. Why? Because there is no control over, the legislature has no control over the consolidated fund. It is the system of the Constitution. It is done in order to encourage the judges of the Supreme Court, the judges of the High Courts to provide impartial justice without being influenced by the legislature. That's why they work confidently, they work fearlessly. And next one, term of office. The Chief Justice and his term is till the age of 65 years. So what is the normal tenure of the Chief Justice of India? The Chief Justice can work till the age 65 years. Their offices cannot be terminated by the president or other body. Why? Because it is the system of Constitution in order to encourage them. But a proposal of impeachment can be brought against him or her if he or she misuses the power, the functions of the entire judicial procedure as per the law framed by the Constitution maker. In that case, a proposal of impeachment is passed in the House of Parliament, provided 2/3 majority of the members of Parliament is required. 2/3 majority means majority of the member of Parliament is required to bring the proposal for impeachment against the Chief Justice of India or any judge of the Supreme Court. And in that case, it is done only when the Parliament is in joint session. It is done at a joint session in order to provide equal opportunities to all the members of both houses of Parliament, so that the matter can be discussed thoroughly in presence of the Speaker as well as in presence of the in presence of the Speaker, in presence of the Vice President. That's why in a joint session of Parliament, this proposal of impeachment against the Chief Justice of India or any judge of the Supreme Court or High Court can be discussed thoroughly through the proposal of impeachment. But generally, no proposal of impeachment is brought against any judge of the Supreme Court, any Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. But as a matter of fact, some judges also are impeached once, but no Chief Justice or judge has been impeached no Chief Justice or Judge of the Supreme Court has been impeached so far in the country within the jurisdiction of its independence. That means no justice, no Chief Justice or Judge of the Supreme Court has been impeached so far in the history of independent India. No Chief Justice or Judge of the Supreme Court, no justice, or it is written in your book that no Chief Justice or Judge has been impeached so far in the history of independent India. But in some books I read that two judges were impeached, two judges of the high courts were impeached once. But I don't know whether it is right or wrong. So whatever the thing which is written in your book, I think you have to follow it. Here, what is written here? Here it is written that no Chief Justice or Judge has been impeached so far in the history of independent India. So you have to follow this system. Suppose I set up one question that one judge of the High Court was impeached in the history of independent India. Options are right, wrong. Right, wrong, none. In that case, which option you will choose? Wrong. Because it is in your book, it is written that no Chief Justice or Judge has been impeached so far in the history of independent India. So it is wrong. And if I write no Chief Justice or Judge has been impeached so far in the history of independent India, right, wrong, none. Right, correct option is right. And next question, next points, jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Here are, some jurisdiction of as per the laws of the country, as per the laws framed by the Constitution maker Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Supreme Court has some jurisdiction. These jurisdictions are namely original jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction. Next day I shall discuss it, because today the points as I mentioned in the board, I discussed it. Next day I shall discuss about the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. And before ending the class, once again I would like to analyze today's discussion. The Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is the highest apex court or highest judicial organ of the country. Why? Because its decision is final. The Supreme Court of India consists of a Chief Justice of India and not more than 30 judges, or minimum 25 judges, until the Parliament by law prescribes a larger number of judges, and it is required only because of the need of the Chief Justice of India. Under the proposal of the Chief Justice of India, a number of judges are appointed by the President. So whenever, but now what are the minimum qualifications required to be the judges of the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice of India? It has been at least 5 years as a judge of the High Court, and has been at least 10 years, has been for at least 10 years an advocate of a High Court or 2 or more such courts in succession. And number 3, it is in the opinion of the President, the person must be a distinguished jurist. So these are the minimum qualifications required for a person to be the judge of the Supreme Court as well as judge of the High Court, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Now, next question, appointment. Next point, appointment. How are the judges appointed? The judges of the Supreme Court the Chief Justice. First of all, I would like to make the matter clear. How is the Chief Justice of India appointed? Every judge of the Supreme Court is appointed first by the President of India in consultation with the judges of the Supreme Court and of High Courts. Besides, the Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers also are allowed to be allowed to give consent in case of appointment of a judge other than the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice of India shall be consulted. Consultation would generally mean concurrence. Consulted generally means concurrence. In case of the Chief Justice, usually the senior-most judge of the Supreme Court is appointed. In case of the Chief Justice, senior-most judge of the Supreme Court is appointed. Now, how is when the Chief Justice is unable to perform duties of his office by reason of absence or otherwise, the President may appoint another judge of the Supreme Court as the acting Chief Justice. So, now question is, how is the Chief Justice of India appointed? The Chief Justice of India is appointed by the President in consultation with the Chief Justice of the High Courts and the judges of the Supreme Court. In consultation with the judges of the Supreme Court as well as the Chief Justice of High Courts, Chief Justices of High Courts, the President appoints the Chief Justice of India. But other judges, how are the other judges of the Supreme Court appointed? The other judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by the President of India in consultation with the Chief Justice of India. The Chief Justice of High Courts, how is a Chief Justice of the High Court is Chief Justice of High Court appointed? A Chief Justice of a High Court is appointed in consultation with the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, the other judges of the Supreme Court, and the Council of Ministers. Then they are appointed. And what is the minimum qualifications required to be the judges of the Supreme Court? The minimum qualification, as I mentioned, no, that point I have cleared. Next point is the tenure or term of office of the judges. A judge of the Supreme Court shall hold office. A judge of the Supreme Court shall hold office until he attains the age of 65 years. Another point is that a judge may resign his or her office by submitting his or her resignation letter to the President of India. A judge of the Supreme Court cannot be removed from his or her office except by an order of the President on the ground of proved misbehavior or incapability. Such an order is passed. Such an order is passed after an address by each House of Parliament, supported by a majority of the total membership of that House and by a majority of not less than 2/3 of the members of the House present and voting in such a removal. But this procedure is generally this procedure has not been taken yet. This procedure of impeachment against the judges of the Supreme Court and Chief Justice this procedure has not been taken against and no impeachment proposal is brought so far in the history of independent India. But the procedure by which a judge can be, the authority of the judge can be challenged whenever he proves himself to be, he or she proves himself to be incapable of shouldering responsibilities of all laws of the country as per the constitutional procedure. In that case, the proposal of impeachment can be brought against him or her. This system, but the proposal, the system, the procedure by which he can be removed from his or her office is known as impeachment. But what I mentioned in one book, it is written that now I am going to discuss it. In May in the year 1993, a motion of proposal, a motion of impeachment, a judge of the Supreme Court, Justice V. Ramaswamy, failed to get the support of the majority of the total membership of the House, means Lok Sabha. That was the first ever move in the history of India to impeach a judge of the Supreme Court. But in that very book, it is written that, no judge, the book which is prescribed for you, here it is written, no Chief Justice or judge has been impeached so far in the history of India. Okay, it is the book of Madhuban Educational Publication, and in the book of Morning Star Publication, here it is written, in May 1993, a motion to impeach a judge of the Supreme Court. In May 1993, a motion to impeach a judge of the Supreme Court, Justice V. Ramaswamy, the name of the judge also is mentioned, failed to get the support of majority of the total membership of the House, Lok Sabha. That was the first ever move in the history of India to impeach a judge of the Supreme Court. Clearly mentioned in the book Morning Star Publication. So what will you do? This type of question, it comes, it is better you, suppose you are going to seek under council's exams. In that case, so many books are there. Students of different schools, they study different books, Madhuban, Morning Star Publication, and books like, other books like, Madhuban Publication, Oswal Publications, and other books like, they generally studies, that is Obitual Publishing Company. So many publishers, so many publishing companies are there, they study. So I need correct answers. So since it is mentioned clearly the name of the justice, so if this type of question comes, then you write. You don't write that one which is mentioned in the book Madhuban Publication, that no justice is impeached so far in the independent India. That is absolutely wrong, my dear students, because one justice of the Supreme Court was impeached, and the name of that very justice also is mentioned, Justice V. Ramaswamy. And what happened to him, it is also mentioned there. So it is better you clearly, if this question comes, then you mention, yes, one's justice was impeached. If this question comes, I think this type of controversial question will not come. If comes, then you write like this way. In the history of independent India, only one Chief Justice of India of the Supreme Court was impeached. His name was V. Ramaswamy. And that incident took place in May 1993. You can write it, no problem. And if you write the same thing, whatever written in the book, Madhuban Publication, they will not give you marks. So up to this, the next day, the remaining points will be discussed. Thank you.